right, here we go, man. Hopefully another solution to another problem. But anyways, a while back we had went to Jacksonville, maybe 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, can't remember. And as we were on the way back, my air rod started getting jacked up. So let me turn it on for you. When I turn it on, I want you to realize that my airbag digital gauge isn't working. So that's what it looks like it's on. And this is what we got. I have no response over there. So I took my seat off already, and I just put my hand down in there, because what I'm thinking is, since I got this new cylinders, all this good stuff at the bottom, now I notice that it's a lot more heat, especially on this right side, and then the fans on the other side push everything to this side, so I feel like it's a lot more hotter. So anyways, as I turned it on, and then I put my hand down in the bottom just to see if I could get the air rod to just connect. So like right now, if I press the button, wow, ain't that some shit? It's working. But anyways, now it's working. I don't know why, but anyways, it seems not to work from time to time. So I guess I'm gonna go back through and see what we got. But like right now, see that? It's not working. Or better yet, my digital gauge isn't working. But now, watch this. When I fidget around with this and this cord right here, it tends to come back. So there it is. Like now, look. As I'm screwing with it, it comes on. Now watch, I let it go, it goes away. So that's one problem I gotta fix. I still gotta figure out why isn't it working. Like for instance, when I have it on the side stand, it doesn't work, but when I set it upright, it works. If you guys, you had to be in the beginning, man, to notice this. But anyways, a lot of people's wiring for their batteries like all over the place. They got their custom dynamics sitting all up under here and all kind of stuff. So what I thought about, and I saw some of these dual bikes do it. This is like a review anyways. I'm just taking you through the bike. What I have is a fuse block. So obviously my main power comes from my battery. It goes through this, and everything that I have is within this little box. Radio, lights, and everything. So I checked this fuse already. Not gonna take that off. I checked that fuse. That's pretty tight. All my wires are pretty connected. I don't have anything that's fairly loose or anything to that nature. So my next thing is, I'm thinking, since it gets so hot, I gotta check these wires, because one thing I don't like about the Arnott, they send you a bunch of like little wires like this. I don't know if you guys can see it, but a bunch of like telephone wires. And it's bananas, man. Like anything could happen. You could clip something like that, and it could just, go haywire and mess up your whole rod. So what I've done in the past is I've taken everything apart and kind of, I don't know if you can see how I got it zip tied down in there, that little white zip tie. I got it all zip tied together, and I'm assuming now my problem is with that heat coming off. You can see all those little wires right here. Hopefully you can see those. And I'm imagining that heat is kind of like affecting those wires. And then some places I soldered the wires, and I'm just hoping that it isn't so hot that the damn solder is coming apart. So that's what my problem is as of now. Like right now, when I just set the bike up, my air rod starts working. See, like right now, it's not working. Why, I don't know. And my gauge isn't on. But I'll tell you this too. Watch this. The gauge will come on. Let's see if I let it go. I let it go, and then I try to use it. It doesn't say anything. So I'm imagining it's got to be some type of power source in here that's like screwing with it. So we're gonna go through the thing and see if we can get it going, and we'll go from there. So all right, we'll get back with you later. All right, this is the problem, and better yet, the solution for what I was coming up with. So let's say this is the wire that comes from under your tank. And if you know what I'm talking about, that wire has a little black plug on it, especially if you have a Road King. It has a black plug on it. But what I've done is I've used my love jugs, and I plugged that. They give you an outlet to plug into that actual little plug under the seat, and that runs my love jugs. So what the setup was that Arnott did, I got this done at the Daytona Bike Week. What they did was they took one of these clamps. Let me grab the other end so you guys get a better idea as to what I'm talking about. So they had something similar to this, but this isn't the exact setup. I don't know what I did with it. Maybe threw it in the trash can. But anywho, they had this end. If you know what I'm talking about, they use them for trailers. They clamp onto the main wire. You can put 2 wires in it and then plug it in. So what I'm saying is they had it like this piece was plugged in. It was clamped on, biting into the wire, and then they had the actual Arnott controller in just like that, and the piece was assembled just like that in a sense, but it was kept connected to that wire. So what I did, I took that whole setup off, and when I took it apart, you could tell like it was old. It was getting really old. Probably didn't have a real good connection. So that's what it is. So what I'm doing is, this is what I normally use. These are called posy taps. This piece screws in there, and this piece screws in there. And what happens is, you're going to take the posy tap, slide it through that little sliver there, and then you'll go in like this, and you'll actually, I don't know if you guys can see that, but you'll puncture that wire as I go in. Let me see if I can bring it closer to the camera. As I screw it in, it punctures the wire, and you have a good connection. And that's that. Pretty much locked tight in a sense. So that's that. On this end, I'm going to use the actual this end as well too. Let me see if I can strip it back. Give you guys an idea what I'm talking about. Yeah, I cut it off that time. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Make it make sense. Right there we go. Okay. So then I would take the actual piece from the controller for the suspension, and I screw it. Obviously, you screw it out a little bit, and you'll leave it slightly in. And then, like I said, I'm using this for demonstration purposes. And you'll take your wire that you're trying to connect, and you'll put it in like this. Put it in till it stops, and then you're going to screw it down. And that whole time is screwing it down onto that. It's another piece that's in there that connects it. And you screw that really tight. And see, look, it has a good bite. Good bite. So what I did was I put a little bit of the electric grease on here to keep that connection nice and juicy. And look, you can see how it even punctured the wire. Not nothing bad. So you could pretty much just keep going on if you didn't even need that. And let's see something. Watch this. Looked like it pierced all the way through, so you got a good connection. Yeah, it pierced all the way through. You can see the tip. Hopefully you can see that in the light, but it pierces all the way through. And like I said, this piece pretty much clamps on. You screw it on, it'll clamp on, make it tighter. Never had any problem out of these. And then, like I said, back that out a little bit. You still want it to be in there. And like I said, once you push it all the way down, it'll push down into that little groove, like so. And then this piece will secure it in. So it's kind of like running it around that piece within. So one more time, screw it in. Push it down. If you can, push it all the way down and apply pressure and twist at the same time. And that's that. And that's a posy tap. So let me take you back to the bike. It's starting to get dark, but we'll see what you can see. Like I said, this is that piece that's under your seat, and it normally has a black cord in it to plug it up. But since I have the love jugs, they give you this cord here that you can run it right into that plug, and that supplies your power to your love jugs. And then, I don't know, maybe since the love jugs has been put in there, it's probably been a little loose, but that seems to be the problem. So now when I turn on the bike, let's see. There we go. We got power. And now let's see if it works. Let's pray it works. There it is. Going up. And I have the slow up. I don't have the fast up. You know, it is what it is. But it goes down the same way. It drops the same way. And I feel like the slow up, at the end of the day, man, people want to go fast up, and they can do what they got to do. Hey, it is what it is. I'm always taking my time, so do what you could do, buy what you can buy, get what you want. And that's what I did. I got what I want. And I still feel cool regardless, with or without the fast up. So, like I said, man, from time to time, this Arnott, it gives you problems, but it comes with anything, man. I've had this system on here maybe for like, at this point, maybe like 8 years, and it gets old from time to time. So there's some adjustments that need to be made. I don't see it as a problem, man. This is like the second problem in 8 years that I've ever had. So it's still a good system. I don't plan on getting rid of it, and life is going to continue going around. And just in case you haven't watched that video, what happened, I had maintenance get done to the bike, and there's a air hose that runs along this side. When the mechanic put the cover back on, he pinched the hose, and that wouldn't allow it to pump up properly. And then, like I said, the only problem I had, well, the other problem I had was like all the wires were all over the place. So I fixed that. I don't have any problem out of that since that. And then like today, or better yet, like this weekend, I wasn't able to even use it. And this thing has been giving me kind of problems with coming on and off. And it is what it is, man. There's nothing that's bothersome. No matter what, I still got the slow up. The best thing about this device, I know my settings. People don't get this gauge and they just put it down here on the side. I don't feel like, you know, having it on the side, yeah, it takes away from the image of the bike when you look at it like that. But at the end of the day, man, I'd rather have that security of knowing when I'm on here, I put it on 70, period. When I'm by myself, I put it on 65, 50, depending on the road, let's say. If it's a nice smooth road, I put it on 50, and it feels good. It's like I'm gliding. It feels like a Cadillac. So I'm pretty sure you can get the same effects with any other air rod. So just do what you got to do, man. And that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Maybe one day you'll see that you need air rod. You want to be as cool as one day you'll see. And you'll pull up and hit that button, and everybody be like, dang, that's a nice bike. But then when you get back on the bike, it'll take you this long. To get to the point where you're comfortable. And this is what she looks like when she's at the height that I like when I ride, and the smoothness, and that's it. So with that said, man, we'll see you on the next one.